We are presenting Malaysia.
The national flag of Malaysia was named Jalur Gemilang. It consists the color of blue, yellow, white, and red. Meanwhile, this is the map of Malaysia, occupied by the Malay Peninsula and the island of Borneo. Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad is the current Prime Minister of Malaysia. He is the 4th and 7th Prime Minister of Malaysia. Wan Azizah Wan Ismail is the first ever woman serving as Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia in Malaysia.
Economic overview. The Malaysian economy remains strong despite of consequently confronted with several external and domestic challenges. Malaysia, being a highly open economy, was affected with gross exports recording a negative growth of 3.8% during the first half of 2013. Nevertheless, strong domestic demand was able to cushion the negative impact from the external factor. The economy registered real GDP growth 4.2% during the period. However, during the third quarter of 2013, key economic signals indicated to better near-term predictions and primer growth in the US, Eurozone, and Japan. The predictions of stronger recovery in advanced economies coupled with moderate but stable GDP growth in China are expected to make a positive outlook for Malaysia's exports. The Malaysian real GDP is expected to register a growth of 4.5% to 5% in 2013, supported by its resilient domestic economy, improving exports during the second half of 2013. Growth will be anchored by resilient private consumption, strong investment activity, and reinforced by a gradually improving external sector on the demand side.
Malaysia experienced increasing in GDP from year 2005, which is 144 billion USD to 23 billion USD in 2008. It shows that the economic growth of Malaysia is positive and there was an increase in revenue as well. Similar to all countries, Malaysia was affected by the global crisis in 2009 and recorded only 202 billion USD of GDP. Fortunately, the government of Malaysia recorded an increase in GDP from year 2009 until 2014. According to Bank Negara Malaysia, in 2014, the major contributor of Malaysia towards its economy in 2010 to 2014 is the demand from private domestic sector and the export activities. Since Malaysia recorded positive growth in GDP after 2009, it is shown that the economic activities, demand and consumption of Malaysians are driving towards the economic growth itself. However, The GDP of Malaysia decreased in 2015 with only 297 billion USD due to rising cost of living. According to Bank Negara Malaysia in 2016, private consumption was reported lower than the previous year due to new implementation by the government on goods and services tax, or also known as GST. Malaysians spend according to their needs after the rise in product prices. Malaysia still relies on the services sector, which is the contribution of GDP. Industry in Malaysia is known as one of the best specialized in Islamic banking. The nation's Islamic banking is well regulated and is monitored by the Central Bank of Malaysia. In year 2016, GDP of Malaysia increased from the previous year, which shows that the economy recorded positive growth. The economic growth was supported by domestic demand and also expenditures from private sectors. The inflation rate was not consistent as shown above. However, in year 2009, the inflation level drastically dropped to 0.6% compared to 5.4% in the previous year. In 2009, the inflation in Malaysia are affected by global demand, especially on fuel. From year 2010, the inflation in Malaysia keeps increasing until year 2011 due to the prices of foods, fuel and transportation. Towards year 2016, the inflation rate in Malaysia declined by 0.01%.
Definition of inflation. Inflation is basically a rise in price. It is a situation of a continued rise in the general price level in an economy. Inflation also leads to a shutdown in the value of money. It also means that money will not buy as much today as person could yesterday. The inflation percentage is the annual percentage change in the price level. Inflation is measured by government statistics such as RPI, retail index price, and CPI, consumer price index.
Hi everyone, so I'm gonna show you the trend of inflation and unemployment in Malaysia. In 2012, the inflation rate is 1.66%. In 2013, it's 2.11%. In 2014, it increased to 3.14%. In 2015, the rate decreased to 2.1%. In 2016, it 2.08%. In 2017, the rate reached its highest at 3.8%. The rate drastically declined on 2018, which is 0.97%. Year 2019, the rate is 1.02%. The prediction of International Monetary Fund, the average of Malaysia inflation rate on 2020 to 2024 is 2%. According to Malaysia former Prime Minister, the total of unemployment rate in 2016 is 432,000. Labor force here mean a person aged 15 to 64 who are employed or actively seeking employment. Unemployment is a situation where labor force participants are available and willing to work but are unable to find jobs. According to the World Bank, the rate of unemployment in Malaysia in 2014 is 2.88%, 2015 with 3.1%, 2016 with 3.44%, 2017 with 3.41%, and 2018 with 3.36%. With the rise in unemployment rate in Malaysia, it may contribute to an escalation in the law-breaking rate. The factor of unemployment among Malaysia, especially youth and fresh graduate, is market condition, the existence of foreign workers as competitors for local graduates, and lack of employability skills.
Factor caused the inflation during 2014 until 2016 in Malaysia. The first one is high taxes and unproductive use of tax money. Due to the implementation of GST by our former Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib, it was a major cause of inflation that had causing prices to up higher that GST rate did. The second one is unproductivity in the economy. It happened because some of the sectors get a huge of income, subsidies and wages for doing nothing. Third is Malaysia have too many overpriced projects and contracts. When contractors get too much profit, and Malaysian had to pay for it through higher prices. Next is policies in Malaysia favor company. Malaysia have a lot of information and price will increase. For example, prices of house are high because developers have always got what they wanted at the expense of the buyers. Next is tourism profit was not systematically managed. Malaysia had a lot of foreign money going into our real estate and property sectors and would not be able to compete. The last one is the way Malaysia deal with diplomatic issues. It is almost a daily affair to us, hearing a huge deals going wrong. And of course, it will cause of unstable of how Malaysia deal with problems. Therefore, it had caused also outcome of a lot of money. Factor cause unemployment in Malaysia during 2014 until 2016. The first one is long economic slowdown has reduced the demand of labor, and it easier to postpone hiring young people than to fire older workers. Next is the quality and relevance of education, which is associated with the phenomenon of graduate glut. As we can see here, from 2014 until 2015, the unemployment rate has increased from 2.88% to 3.1%. From 2015 until 2016, the unemployment rate also increased from 3.1% to 3.44%.
According to a research that has been made by Min Yu Cheng and Hui Buntan, inflation affects an economy of a country in many ways, both positive and negative. It is a difficult task to solve inflation since they must go everything thoroughly to avoid any miscalculation and unintended adverse on the country's economy. There are two types of inflation, which are anticipated inflation and unanticipated inflation. Based on Michael Kozat research, anticipated inflation is the percentage increase in price levels over a given period predicted by the society in the economy. On the other hand, unanticipated inflation is a situation where people do not know about inflation is about to happen until the price level increase and cause the following effects. The first one is redistribution of income or wealth. In this situation, there will be a winners and losers when inflation happens. People who are categorized in the winners are businessmen, because they will receive more profits due to rising prices. Second one is debtors, because they return the same amount of money but pay less than the value of money in terms of goods and services by the time they want to repay the loan. The third one is property owners, because property prices often increase faster than average level of all goods. And the last one to be categorized as the winners during this inflation is shareholders, because they will receive higher dividends when firms get higher profits. The next one is the one that categorized in losers. For example, creditors, because rate of inflation exceeds the rate of interest charged on loan. The next one is wage earners and salaried workers, because real value of income decrease because their wages or salaries are slow to adjust to the rising prices of goods and services. The next one is pensioners. Since their income is fixed, inflation will make their real income fall. And the last one is savers, because fixed or saving deposits will lose as the purchasing power of their savings will decline. The second one is inflation discourages investment and savings due to uncertainty over future inflation. Inflation increases the opportunity cost of holding money but reduces savings and distorts consumers' behavior by causing them to purchase and hoard more. This situation also causes the firms to distort their behavior and makes long-term planning difficult, whereas firms may divert funds from productive investments to speculation. Trade unions may fight for higher wages and go on strike, which will affect production. Inflation also affects the balance of payments, because a higher rate of inflation makes export seem relatively expensive and vice versa for imports. Thus, the balance of trade will suffer. This will affect employment in industries involved in exports. Inflation will also break down the functions of money. In a severe strato-inflation or hyperinflation, money becomes less useful as it loses its function to serve as a medium of exchange and a store of value. In hyperinflation, the use of money may completely break down and lead to a replacement with the barter system.
The Malaysian government overcome inflation and unemployment through fiscal and monetary policy. Both focus on creating an even more strong economy with low inflation and significant economic growth. Fiscal and monetary policies are both strive to reduce economic changes and polish economy cycle. The primary contrast is that fiscal policy is focused on adjusting government expenditures and taxations in order to affect aggregate demand level, while central bank's monetary policy utilize the interest rates.
Fiscal policy is the way whereby a government adjusts its levels of spending and tax rates to monitor as well as affect the economy of a country. Fiscal policy is based on British economist John Maynard Keynes' theories, also known as Keynesian economics. This theory basically states that by increasing or decreasing tax levels and public spending, governments can influence macroeconomic productivity levels. Fiscal policy associated with the implications on aggregate demand and the economy of government expenditures and tax. Expansionary fiscal policy is an attempt to boost aggregate demand with higher government spending and lower taxes involved, and on the other hand, contractionary fiscal policy aims to lower government spending and higher taxes involved. When there is a deflation, a situation where the country's economies are slow, the government will decide to apply the expansionary fiscal policy. Through expansionary fiscal policy, taxes will be reduced and government will spend their money on country's development by buying services from market such as building schools or roads. This will reduce the unemployment rates because new projects will need workforce to be accomplished. Expansionary fiscal policy will also lead to increased money spent by the consumer. Since the taxes are reduced, they will have more money to spend on goods and services. Whereas when inflation happens, a situation where the value of money is decreased, the government will use the contractionary fiscal policy. The government will increase the taxes and reduce the government expenditure. This will decrease the consumer spending as well as slowing down the government spending on development. In the meantime, the unemployment rates will increase.
Monetary policy is how the supply of money and interest rates in an economy are controlled by a central bank or other institution to control production, wages, and price. Monetary policy mainly controlled by the central bank. For Malaysia, this policy is controlled by Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM). They control the money supply in market. Monetary policy instruments include open market operation, interest rates, reserve requirements, unconventional emergency borrowing schemes, and market expectation. These policy divided into two, which are expansionary monetary policy and contractionary monetary policy. Monetary officials are commonly given political mandates to produce a steady growth in gross domestic product (GDP), to maintain low unemployment rates, and to preserve consistent foreign currency and inflation rates. Monetary policy can be used in conjunction with or as an option to fiscal policy, which involve taxation, government debts, and expenditure to control the economy. If a country is suffering a high rate of unemployment during a slowdown or recession, the central bank can settle for an expansionary policy that aims to boost economic development and improve economic activity. As part of the expansionary monetary policy, the central bank, Bank Negara Malaysia, often lowers interest rates by means of various mechanisms that make saving money relatively unfavorable and encourage spending. It results in an increased supply of money on the market, hoping to boost investment and consumer spending. Contractionary monetary policy is a policy being used by the Bank Negara Malaysia to reduce the inflation by reducing the money supply in the market. By using this policy, it will help to lower the inflation but will cause the unemployment rate to increase. Bank Negara Malaysia will increase the interest rate. Therefore, the conventional bank will increase their interest rate as well, and fewer people will want to lend money from the bank because it will cost them more since the interest rates are rising. This will lead to price drop and inflation will be under control.
As the conclusion is, Malaysia is a developing country. Not only that, Malaysia also had a multiple economy contributor. Due to rising great unemployment in Malaysia, the people should help each other. Not only that, the government also need to create a job opportunities. In the world of modern technology, every nation is struggling with their own country inflation rate, so as Malaysia. Therefore, I hope Malaysia can control the country inflation for well-being of its citizens.